Good morning students and welcome to physics class. Let's start the today's topic, and the today's topic is the second chapter of class 11, unit and measurement. You know, the first chapter physical world is not very important for the your examination point of view. So today we will discuss about unit and measurement, and something we are going to revise that. First of all, we will discuss about what is the physical quantity. You know very well, the quantity which can be measured. The quantity which can be measured, this is called physical quantity. Now we have already discussed that the some basic unit means the that particular quantities. Unit means that particular quantities on which we can measure the any physical quantity. Okay, there are the two types of the unit. First is the fundamental and second is the derived unit. We have already discussed there are the seven fundamental units. Okay, seven fundamental units, which was the first is the meter for measuring of length, second was the kg for measuring of the mass, third is the second for measuring of the time, and fourth is the ampere for measuring of current. Yes, and fifth was the kelvin for measuring of temperature. Same like that, six is the candela, okay, for measuring of the luminous, and seventh last is the mole for measuring of the number of molecules. And after that the two supplementary unit are added for measuring that particular angle in 2 dimension and angle in 3 dimension, which was the radian and steradian, which I have already discussed that. Okay, and the derived unit, what is the derived unit? The unit which can derived with the help of the fundamental unit, this is called the derived unit. For example, when you will measure the unit of velocity, this is the velocity unit, have the meter per second. So unit of velocity is made by the two units. First is the meter, just minute bit. Okay, meter per second. Meter is the, you know very well, meter is the unit of the length, and second is the unit of time. With the help of these two different fundamental units, you make a one derived unit of velocity. Same like that, you can make the unit of acceleration, meter per second square. Okay, you know all these things. Today we will be discuss about the different types of errors. Okay, so today's topic is error. Errors. Okay, basically there are the two types of error. First is the systematic and second is the random. Okay students, systematic error, the error which is the fixed, which cause you know, by which cause that particular error comes in your observations, this is called the systematic error. For example, when you are measuring the time period of the simple pendulum, okay, so there may be the some error will become because of the air frictions, because of the fluctuation of the thread, like that. The error which you are know by which cause this is coming, the cause of error where you know, this is called the systematic error. And the cause which cannot be defined, okay, the cause which cannot be explained, this is called the random error. Random error means the, suppose that and when you are going to the find out the fundamental frequency of the your room, what is the basic frequency of your room, okay, so it may be changed because of the someone is the traveling over that particular floor of the room. Okay, so their frequency may be the change. Okay, random error, or you maybe say that the systematic error have the fixed direction, it may be the positive, it may be the negative fixed, but random error, it cannot be say that the what will be, it will become, it may be the positive error, it may be the negative error also. Okay, there are the two types, different types of error. And the second, you know very well, absolute error. What is the absolute error? We have already discussed that the sum of, suppose that when you are going to, we can decrease the systematic error by making the observation many times. Okay, by making the observation many times, you know very well. Okay, suppose that we have taken the any observation 4 times, a1, a2, a3, a4. Okay, when you will be get the average of this error, so this is the absolute value a. Okay, and the difference of each observation with absolute value a minus a1, a minus a2, a minus a3, a minus a4. So what will become? So this is the difference. This is the delta a1. This is the error in first observation. Delta a2, error in second observation. Delta a3, error in third observation. Delta a4, this is the error in fourth observation. Okay, when you will get the mean of these errors, that means delta a1 plus delta a2 plus delta a3 plus delta a4 divided by 4. So this is comes the delta a. This is the absolute error. So what does mean by the delta? Delta is the difference. Okay, the difference of in first error, difference in second error, third error, fourth error. When you will get the average of the error, this is the absolute error. Okay, students. Now it is that when you will be put any physical quantities, so you have to be write down any physical quantity with their error. Okay, suppose that the length of any object is given, length of any object is given 2.31 centimeter. Okay, now you may be write down this data in error form. You may be write down this data in error form. How? Because you know the list count of any device. The list count means the how minimum value this device can be measured. This is called the list count. For example, your simple 6 centimeter scale have the list count is 1 millimeter. Okay, vernier calipers, you know very well, it can be measured 0.1 millimeter, and screw gauge, you know, it can be measured 0.01 millimeter. Okay, this is their list count. List count means the how smallest value can be measured by that particular device, that particular scale. This is called their list count. Okay, so when you will be measure any quantity, when you will be measure any object by any instruments which have the smallest their list count, it cannot be measured. For example, when you are going to measure the any length of any object which length is less than 1 millimeter. Okay, suppose that if any object have their length is less than 1 millimeter, when you will be measure with simple scale, it cannot be possible. There may be cause of the error, because that simple scale can minimum measure the 1 millimeter. When object is less than the 1 millimeter, how can it can be measured by that scale? So it may be the error. So you know very well, keep in your mind that the list count of any device, it is the error form of that particular value. So when you will be write down this data in error form, how you can be write down? When you will be write down this data in error form, you may be write down like that. This is their absolute value, and what is the error? So delta f is equal to what is the list count. Suppose this answer is come by the measuring of any device. So what was the list count of that device which measure this data? What was the list count of that device which measures this data? So it is very clear that device measure the point after 0.2 digit in centimeter. So it can be measured, the minimum value is 0.01 centimeter. This is their list count. This is the list count of that device which measures this data. Okay, this is the list count of that device which measure this data. So this is their error form. Okay, so complete data can be write down 2.31 plus minus delta 0.01 centimeter. Okay, this is the error form. This is the error form of any data. You may write down any data in a error form. Okay, and the operation of the error. Yes, this is very important. Please keep in your mind. There are four types of the basic operation: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, in case of addition and subtraction, okay, this is the absolute value. It may be as it is. Okay, it will be added and subtracted like as a previous method. But in case of this, error form, it is only and only added. For example, suppose that the length of L1, length is any object is this, okay, and length of the second object is 2.21 plus minus delta 0.001. Okay, so when you will be add these two data, L1 plus L2, what will become? This is nothing. It is you will be add this data as like previous method. So it will be 25.4 plus minus, and error is also get added. So what is the value of the error? It will be 0.011. Okay, this is 0.01, this is 0.001. When will we add, this will become. So error is always added. You know, one error cannot be subtracted the any another error. Error is always added. In case of subtraction, when will we subtract these two value? Okay. So what will become? When will we subtract this value to this value? So what will become? Same like that. 101.0 subtraction, but error will be same. Error is always added. Okay, in case of addition and subtraction, error is always added. Okay, so what about in multiplication and division? In case of multiplication and division, how will you play with error? Let's come. Okay, in case of multiplication and division, so before study of the multiplication and division, we will be think about what is the relative error and percentage error. You know very well. Relative error means the ratio of absolute error with absolute value. Ratio of absolute error with absolute value. This is called relative error. Okay, and when we multiply with 100 with relative error, this is called percentage error. Okay, so in case of multiplication and division, okay, the relative error, the sum of relative error of all the data is equal to the resultant of the resultant value. Okay, let's start. Suppose that there is one data A equal to L plus minus delta L, B equal to M plus minus delta M, and you want to know C, which is equal to A into B. Okay, so what is the value of C? So first of all, there is a multiplication. Okay, there is a multiplication. So in case the relative error of each data will be same, that means delta C upon C equal to delta A upon A plus delta B upon B. Okay, their proving is very simple. You may be proved that, but in this case, today we will be discuss only the application of these formulas. We will be only discuss the application of this formula. There is no proving. Okay, and when you will be ask me your proving, then I can also be revise that. Okay. So what is the delta C? Delta C is the error in the resultant. C is the absolute value. Delta C is the absolute error in resultant. Delta A is the delta A is the absolute error in A. What is the value of A? A is the, this is the absolute value of A is the L. Okay, absolute error in B is this, absolute value in B is this. Okay student, absolute value, this is first term is the absolute value, second term is the absolute error. Okay, the ratio of absolute error with absolute value, absolute error with absolute value. Okay, so how can you find out the value of C? This is very simple. In previously method, just only multiply with L into M, you will find out the value of C. How can you find out the value of delta C? So delta C equal to C into all these things. C into delta A by A plus delta B by D. You maybe find out the value of the delta C. Okay. By this method you can find the multiplication of the two error digits. Two error digits. Okay. Same like that, division is also have the same formula. In case of division, you will be applying same formula. Okay. In case of division, when you will be divide A divided by B. Okay. In case of A divided by B, how can you find out the value of the delta C? Same formula. You will apply same formula. You can find out delta C. Then how you will be write down the resultant? Resultant will be C plus minus delta C. This will be resultant. C plus minus delta C. In case of multiplication and division. Then what about the power? Okay. In case of power, suppose that A square, we will write down A into A. Okay. So A cube have A into A into A. Okay. So in case of B, C, it will be same. So it is very easy. In case of power is coming front. Power is coming front. Okay. So what is the value of A square? Suppose that if A is equal to this. If A equal to this, so what is the value of A square or A cube? Okay, suppose that A square is the y, so this will be equal to like that, delta y by y equal to delta L by L plus delta L by L. In case of A square equal to, okay, or you will write down 2 delta L by L. Delta y by y equal to 2 delta L by L. Same like that. So delta y equal to 2 y delta L by L. These things. Okay. So this is the basic concept. How can you find out the power? Suppose that in case of A cube, only there will be 3. In case of A5, there will be 5. Same like that. Okay. Now we are going to find out. We are going to solve some numericals. Then you will be find how can we solve such type of the questions. Okay. Let's start. Suppose that we have one equation y equal to a square b to the power 2 upon c to the power 1 by 2 into d to the power 5. Okay students, this is very simple question. And suppose that a had the error 2%, B had the error 1%, C and D had the error, C and D had the error, it is remain 1 to 3% like that, 3%. Okay. Now what is the percentage error in Y? what is the percentage error in y. Okay, so you know very well there is the multiplication and there is division. In case of multiplication and division you have to apply the same formula. Okay, one thing, and there is a percentage error is already given. Okay, so you just only add up all these things like that. Please be careful. Y percentage error in y this will be equal to percentage error in y, this will be equal to, first of a at the power 2 into what is the error in a, 2%, plus just only add up b at the power 2, come out power in front, you know very well, we have already tell you in case of power will be come in front. Okay, 2 into b at the percentage error 1. Okay, just add. There is division, but you will be only add up. Okay, c had the power 1 by 2 and percentage error is 3. D had the power 5 but percentage error is again 3. C and D, again percentage error is 3. Okay, just solve this. How much will become? 4 plus 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 15. That means 12 plus 3 plus 30 by 2. Okay. $45 by 2%. Okay, students, this is very simple concept in case for solving of the error formula. Okay, error, the question will come in your examination like that. You just when percentage error is given, you will be write down like that. Okay, how can you find out the relative error? Another question is given that suppose that there are the two resistance R1 and R2. Okay, and they are connected in parallel. Then what is the percentage and what is the relative error in their resultant? What is the relative error in their resultant? So in case of parallel combination, you know 1 by R equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. You know very well. Okay, just differentiate it. Okay, so what will become? Minus 1 by R into D R. The differentiation of 1 by R is equal to 1 by R square with negative sign. Okay, dr equal to minus 1 by R1 square with dr1 minus 1 by R2 square with negative sign dr2. Okay, students, you know very well dr upon r square, dr1 upon r1 square, dr2 upon r2 square. Okay, this is very simple. dr by r, this is the relative error. This is the relative error in their resultant. dr1 by r1, this is relative error in r1. dr2 by r2, this is relative error in r2. So you may be write down this negative sign will be cancelled. Okay, so what will become? dr by r into 1 by r equal to dr1 by r1 into 1 by r1 plus dr2 by r2 into 1 by r2. Okay, do you know what is this? Okay, Again you just only multiply with 100. Multiply with 100. All this side. Do you know this is the percentage error in resultant? R. Percentage error. This is a percentage error in R1. This is a percentage error. This is a percentage error in R2. Okay, students? There is a percentage error. If suppose that percentage error is given, R1 have percentage error is 2%, R2 is percentage error is 1%. Okay, and when they are connected in parallel, the resultant have the how much the resultant have the percentage error. Suppose that this question is asking that how much the percentage error in their resultant, and the value of R1 is suppose that this is the 2, okay, and R2 is the also 2 ohm, and percentage error in R1 is the 2% and percentage error in R2 is the 1%. Now keep their value in this equation, and you know very well this is very simple. Okay, then percentage error in R1 you have to find out these things, and 1 by R, what is the value of the R? This will be in parallel. R1 R2 are in parallel, 2 and 2 ohm, so their resultant value of R will be 1. Resultant will be 1. You know, in case of parallel combination, so 1 by R equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. When you will be solving, you will find out the value of R equal to 1. Okay? Value of R equal to 1. Now keep all this value in this equation. So what will become? Solve it. You have to find out this value. There is percentage error in resultant. Okay? Suppose that this complete value percentage error is suppose that it is the x into 1 by R. R is the 1. That means 1 by 1 equal to, this is a percentage error in R1. This is the 2%. 2 upon value of R1 is 2. Percentage error in R2 is 1%. And value of R2 is the 2. Now solve it. This is the 3 by 2. Okay, students? 3 by 2, yes. So value of x is equal to 3 by 2, that is the 1.5%. Very simple. Once again, I just revise this. There are a question of resistance. Question is that there are the two resistance R1 and R2, okay, and their value is the 2 ohm and 2 ohm, okay, 2 ohm and 2 ohm, and the percentage error is in R1 is 2%, R2 have the percentage error is 1%, and question is that when these two resistors are connected in parallel, then what is the percentage error in their resultant? What is the percentage error in their resultant? So you will be solved like that. This is a percentage error. Okay, very simple. Now we will be discuss about something new. We are going to discuss about what is the significant figure. Okay, so there is the basic 3 to 4 law of significant figure. Let's just discuss that. Now you can very easily find out what is the significant figure. Okay. The total value of certain and uncertain value of any data, this is called significant figure. What is the certain and uncertain value? Certain means the value which have the fixed, that means the non-zero digit, this is a fixed value for any measurement, fixed value, and non-uncertain, this is a non-fixed value. Okay, the value which is important to explain any data, this is called the complete significant figure. Okay, so there is some law of the significant figure. First law is that I just say that for significant, first law is that all non-zero digit are significant figure. First law, all non-zero are significant. Second law, 0 in between two non-zero digits. 0 in between two non-zero digits are significant figure. That means 1, 0, 2. There are the three significant figures. Okay, 0 in between two non-zero digits. Okay, third is that all the zero of right hand side, all the zero of right hand side in case of non-decimal digit. First of all, we are discussing about the non-decimal points. Okay, all the zero in right hand side are non-significant figure. That means 20 and 000, these are the non-significant. Only 2 and 8 are significant. Okay, in case of decimal, okay, in case of decimal, after decimal, all the zero are significant. After decimal all the zero are significant. Okay, one thing is also very important. In case of decimal, okay, in case of when the data is greater than 1, when the data is greater than 1, that means 5.00210. So all these data are significant. All these data are significant. Okay, be careful. This 20 is also significant and this 0 is also significant. But when data is less than 1, that means like that. And suppose that in this case, this is 0.002000. In this case, these 2 0 are non-significant, but these 3 0 are significant. First 2 0 is after decimal, because this complete data is less than 1. This complete data is less than 1. So first 2 0 are what? First 2 0 is non-significant and last 3 0 is significant. This is a significant concept. Okay, how can you find out the significant figure? By this given complete 4 to 5 method. This is very easy, beta. Okay, now when you will be solve any questions, okay, when you will be solve any questions, so by making the operation of addition or subtraction, okay, so you have to find out the list number after the decimal. Your answer will be as according to the list number after decimal of the given data. Okay, in case of addition and subtraction. For example, suppose that a equal to 2.316, b equal to 9.1. When you will be add or subtract, your answer will be after decimal in 1 digit. Because suppose that c is also here, its value is 7.21, like that. When you will be add all these three data, then be careful. In case of addition and subtraction both, your answer will be only 1 digit after decimal. After decimal, you have to be use only 1 digit, not 2 digit, because you have to take the smallest data after the decimal point. This is the only 1 digit. Okay, in case of addition and subtraction, be careful. Okay, you have to be check out after decimal which data has the list number. List number is not 1 or 0. List number means number of quantity. There is a 1, 2, 3 quantity after decimal. There is only 1 quantity. There is 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. After decimal there are the 2 point. After decimal only 1 quantity. After decimal there are 3 quantity. So list quantity is only 1. So your answer will be after answer. Suppose there is an answer as point, only 1 digit you will be used. Only 1. Okay, in case of addition and subtraction. But what about the multiplication and division? In case of multiplication and division, keep in your mind, you will not check the decimal point. In this case, you will be check the significant figure. Yes, when two data, suppose that 2.1 and another data is 125.6, 7 and 21.9132, like that. When we will multiply or divide all these quantities, three quantities, 1, 2, 3, divide or multiply, okay, your answer will be after, you know, there how many significant figure here? There is just two significant figure. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant figure. Okay, when we will be solve it, your answer will be in two significant figure, because in case of multiplication and division, your answer will be as a least significant figure, least quantity of significant figure. There is a least quantity of significant figure is 2, so your answer in two significant figure. This is the method of multiplication and division. Okay, keep in your mind. Okay, now next, how can you round up? Okay, how can you round up the data? You know very well. Suppose that there is a one quantity is given there 2195012. Okay, and there is a decimal, and you have to be round up the 9. All this you have to find out the value in three significant figures. Suppose that, so you have to be round up 9. Okay, you know very well when 5. Okay, when 5 complete this data, you have to be get values, you have to be round up. Okay, so you know the round up data is greater than 5, then this value before value is get increases. Okay, now we are going to discuss the roundup method. Very important. Keep in your mind. We will be only discuss only one time. So please keep in your mind. Okay. Someone is know that, yeah, I know very well roundup method. We have already done in previous very well. We know very well about how can we round up. When the data is greater than 5, you will be increase one value. When the data is less than 5, when the data roundup data is less than 5. Okay. So the previous value just before value it will be as it is. Okay, but when the data is 5, then what we will be do? Okay, so when the data is 5, now be careful. So after 5, what is here? Just after 5, next data is what? It is 0 or anything else except 0. So one thing keep in your mind. Okay, suppose that after 5 there is any data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anything. Okay, you just only increase that value. Just before value, you will be increased by 1. Okay, when after 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anyone. Okay, you will be increased that value, and you will be manage this 5. Okay, then what will be happen when after 5 is 0 is here? After 5 is 0 is here, then what will we do? Okay, now one thing is come. When after 5 is 0 is here, now please see here. This is the even or odd. You just try to make it even. If it is 9, then you will be increased, and if it is the 8, suppose that when it is the 8, then there is no change in 8. Okay, it will be only checked when after 5 is 0, not these things. After 5 is 0, then you will be checked what is the before 5. If before 5 is any data, you just make it even. And if it is already even, then there is no change. And if it is the odd, like that 3, then you will be increasing by 4. When you will be increasing by 4 and make it even. This is the roundup method. Okay. Now, after roundup method, now we will be discussing about what is the dimensions. Okay, student. Dimension is the symbol by which we can identify the derived unit, how it is depend upon the derived unit, how it is depend upon the fundamental unit by which power. Okay, there is some basic symbol for measuring of mass, for denoting of mass you will be write like m, for denoting of length you will be write n, for denoting of time you will be write t,